plays Jace Herondale. Still new to the shadow hunting game, but so important. Clary Frey is Catherine McNair. She plays Isabel Lightwood, Emerald Tabia. There are already quite a few Matts up on stage right now, but I think this is the Matt you're looking forward to. So we've got Alec Lightwood, Matthew Daddario. Head Warlock, Brooklyn Magnus Bane, Harry Shumdu. I've got to get a werewolf up here, so let's get Luke Garraway, Isaiah Mustafa. Welcome to San Diego, guys. This is an awesome time for the show to be here. You're just about to end season 2. The show is really established. We've got a huge room of fans here to see you. What can you tease from the showrunners and producers here, what we just saw? The tears, the anger, the conflict. Anything you can tell us about these follow-up episodes that we're going to see?
City of Glass! Want to know the source of conflict and anger and tears?
Yeah.
It's all of them causing problems.
All of them causing problems for you?
With each other.
No, it's all because of you. Who is the head of the institute right
That's
now?
not my fault.
It is. It's your fault.
No, I'm here to solve problems.
The boy just needs a little guidance in his life. He'll be okay.
Well, Matthew, let's talk about Alec being the head of the New York Institute at this point in time. There's a lot on his shoulders right now. He has a lot of hard decisions to make.
Yes,
How does that affect him and then also his relationship with Magnus? How is that going to, what kind of conflict is that creating?
Well, when you got a tough job like this, you know, you spend a lot of hours at the office, and you know, it puts a little stress on the people you love, and you want to go home and see. And you try to go see them and make sure that you're not, you know, killing the wrong kind of demons, or you know, inflicting some kind of magical curse. You know, all these things that we deal with, those cause problems, and sometimes.
And he's really lucky to have someone like Magnus to feel the brain. Understanding, very understanding.
Yes, and very forgiving.
Maybe.
But I think that as a result of him being head of the institute, everyone's going to be happier, and everyone's going to love him a little more, and everyone's going to do a little better. Don't you think?
Did you read the last script?
No, don't.
I haven't read the last script. When did you read the last script?
Couple.
Couple of months. Oh, you
Wait, what? What last script?
Oh,
the one that. No, we didn't read it. We filmed it, Doc. Were you there?
Were you there? You seem to not know anything that happened. Happier and better? We're on the same show, Matt?
Oh yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, there it is,
There's not a lot of happy the rest of the season.
Those rare happy
Little bit.
There's little
glimmers, brief
Yeah.
glimmers.
Harry, Magnus is going through his own sort of trials and tribulations at the moment too, with Alec as the head of the Institute, but he's really consumed with his past. He had some stuff come up that he wasn't expecting. Going forward for the end of the season, what can we expect? Like, how is he reacting to this, and how is he reacting to possibly secrets being kept from him because of Alec's new position?
I think trying to be as strong as he can through all this. I mean, going through something like that and resurfacing something that happened so long ago, I think it's really difficult. And also, you have these walls that you just put down, and then now he has to put him back up. I think it's a difficult thing, especially when you just put so much trust into someone, and if even a little lie, I think, can affect someone like that. So I think it's been pretty difficult, but I mean, he's gone through so much that I think he can overcome this.
Centuries of stuff.
Centuries.
I know fans like seek out and really hope for these, happy moments for Team Malik and for the relationship. It's such a fun and important relationship for television right now, and I think that on a show like this with so much drama, those scenes of levity really stand out even more. So I wanted to ask Alberto, you just had a really fun scene, a family dinner scene, that was sort of lighter than what Simon's been going through usual, and he seemed to really relax and loosen up, and he was nervous going in. But what was that like to play those happier moments?
Well, for Simon, that was actually a very difficult place to be. That was he had just had this horrible experience where he found the monster within him come out, and he really needed Maya there to kind of help him realize that it's going to be okay, and to have someone there to kind of hold his hand a little bit and let him ease into a familial situation. So yeah, for him that wasn't a very easy place to be, especially because he put his family through so much. I mean, when his mom had the confession that was her thing for Yom Kippur about how going back to drinking, Simon knows that was directly because of him. So the scene, and the levity in the scene came from like the truth of them being a real family, the wonderful moments of them reconnecting as a family, and Simon kind of grounding himself in who he is again, seeing his mother, his grandmother, his sister, and then being, celebrating this, Yom Kippur dinner, which is part of his Jewish faith, part of who he is. It was a real reconnection scene, and I think that was kind of what brought it the levity, that being like, oh, this is Simon, this is where he's comfortable.
Okay, cool. There was a lot of sexual tension at that table between the two of you. I know that you were sitting at a Yom Kippur dinner, but it was one of the sexier scenes. I was transfixed. So.
Yeah, I think that's all vampire mojo though, man. Simon's never aware of that.
I think he's pretending. You're always playing like you're so sweet. and so like trouble, but you're not.
If that's the game, Simon doesn't know he's playing it, I'll tell you that much. It's just like...
Speaking of possible happy moments, it seems like it's a never good time for Jason and Clary. There's been a lot of stop-starts.
No, never good time.
They thought they were siblings, he thought he had demon blood.
Yeah.
Now it seems like they're at a point, even though things are ramping up on the danger front, it seems like they're at a point where maybe they could actually be together, they can actually admit their feelings to one another. How far away are we from that? Is that
We're away. Yeah. We're away.
They've both been through so much, and Clary's honestly a little gun-shy right now too, because of everything that happened with Simon. I mean, the last person in the world she would have ever wanted to hurt is Simon, and she did. And before jumping into anything else, she feels like she needs to focus on maybe work for a while and figure out how she feels and how she fits into the world.
Have you ever heard a girl say to you, like, I just think I need to focus on work for a while?
And after what she did to poor Simon.
It's true. She
that was
doesn't want
pretty
to do that to
terrible.
anyone else.
Yeah.
In defense of Clary, though, it wasn't all her fault. Right? It was like the vines and all that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's either die or
It was manipulation.
let them die.
What's the percentage
Of what?
of whose fault? We like to look at
I don't know.
Give me some numbers here.
Yeah, that's
Percentage Vines, percentage Sealy Queen, percentage Clary.
I think what's important with this relationship is that there has been connection, there's been chemistry since minute one, but they haven't had an opportunity to explore a relationship in a conventional sense. They haven't really been in a relationship at any point throughout this season yet. And this is now a place where Clary and Jace are both, whether they're willing to accept it or not, they're both in a place where actually we can look into potentially getting into a relationship. We're in the right place at the right time. There is nothing holding us back
except for all
the apocalypse and Valentine and
Yeah.
and all that. Like, other than all of that going on, like just Clary and Jay stuff, like they're in a good place with that right now. And hopefully we'll get to show you more and more of Clay's building over the future. But it gets worse before it gets better.
It does, but you're right. I mean, they've had this connection
always
since day
does.
one. But Jace and Claire are always there for each other. They've always been there for each other. They're always
Always?
Always?
Like on the boat and the torture and the kidnap and
I was
Valentine's my
trying
dad
to
and
find
get back, and then I come back and go to the club, and then I go
Always.
I taste
book
it
club,
to get to
and
you.
oh, taste it to get to me. You taste she's sweet. Very sweet. She tasted Luke.
She tastes your father and figure too.
That's so lovely. That's so lovely. I got tortured because of you.
I died.
I went to the verge of your vampire. I died.
So Claire has the best of intentions, but she doesn't always make the right decision.
There you go.
That was one question that, by the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I don't know what the question was at the beginning, but Emerald, one of the things I really enjoyed recently was Isabel is such a strong character, confident character, but then to see her go through the addiction arc that she went through, which she's just now finally starting to come out of. What was that like to play when we were introduced to the character? She's such a strong presence, and then to see her sort of shrink like that and become so desperate. What was it like for you?
Wow, it was hard. It was hard, but I mean, we have Matt that directed that episode, which is one of my favorite because it challenged me. It scared me, and I think that's when you become better at what you do when you're afraid of things. And thanks to Darren and to Todd who wrote this and who challenged me to try and really work and not, expect what Isabel normally is, a badass. So I mean, it was hard. I just really felt what she was feeling. And now she's going through a different path. Now she is trying to find herself again. She is getting her strength back, and she's going through that journey slowly. And now she's, going to become a mentor for her little brother Max. And I don't want to keep talking about Max, but someone on this side is doing something he's not supposed to do.
What?
What?
What am I doing?
Anyway.
Well, one thing I want to stick with. Well, one thing I want to get to with Emerald and Isabel is strength isn't the absence of weakness; it's overcoming weakness. So the reason we see Isabel so strong is because we see her have those moments of doubt, and we see her really go through there where she does not know how she's going to push herself to the next day, how she's going to make it through these things. Yet she somehow finds it within herself and continues to move forward. That's real strength, and that's what I think we see in her is that constant self-confidence. It's really down there. That's no, you can do it. Just push one more day, take one more step. And that's something I think you guys really built in the Journey writing and something you see in the Journey acting. I think that's why we see her as this badass. Because she has those moments of weakness that allows her to become the badass or to, fight for that.
Awesome. To get to Isaiah here. What's going on with Ollie? What does she know? What is she trying to find out? Why is she? What's trying to get along?
Oh, I mean, what's not going? What doesn't she know? I mean, at this point, she's all up on.
Which she doesn't know. What does she know?
Yeah, she's a constant pain in the ass sometimes. I mean, but honestly, which can you blame her? I mean, look at her partner. I mean, jeez. Recently single, New York City.
over and over again.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that to her. Who knows what's going on?
What's 1 plus 2?
I just like the fact that Raphael and Luke had a chance to kind of work together on that. You saw a little bit of that reluctant bond that they have.
That's really cool. I wanted to ask the producers here what it's like. You've got such a great series of books to follow and to sort of draw from, but also to deviate from when necessary, and how you sort of make the decisions to change things up for the show, because you've had a big change and you make other smaller changes, but how do you go about just sort of transforming these pages onto the screen and not making it a straight adaptation and having the show be its own thing?
Yeah, I think from the beginning, it hasn't been a chapter to chapter, episode to episode type of adaptation. It's more taking the spirit of the books and taking the truth of the characters and the soul of the book and the characters and making sure that always comes across. In every scene of the show, it's honoring the books. And if you've read the books, then we want you to also be surprised and to also go on a journey. It's built in that there's going to be some deviation from the book just by the physical fact of making a television show. And also the timelines, the way the timelines have sort of the horses have left, track, or they're going down the track at different speeds in the book. And I think it leads to a nice mixture of adaptation and a newness.
Now, it's you know, a serialized drama, but also there have been a few episodes that are sort of, they're not quite standalone, but they feel like they could be. Is that something that you purposely try to put into a season or a half season, just to, because there's, you know, there's the party where people are hallucinating, and then there's the Seeley sort of faking the downloader attacks.
We definitely try to give each show its own identity. So you can say, oh, that's the episode where that happened, as opposed to a blur. And speaking to what Darren had said, like with the adaptation, in the book, it is a blur that it's a novel and it's a book. And as a television show, Smallville was a show, that's how we came up in TV, and they were like little movies. And Shadowhunters, even though it's serialized, we love the fact that you feel satisfied, like you had a nice meal after one episode, and still having the serialized element, but it's so fun. And by the way, thank you all the writers on this show from the bottom of our hearts. Cassie Clare, first of all. Magical world. All the writers from season 2, Zach and Allie and Shereen and Holly and Pete and Michael. I'm going to forget names. And the season 3 writers, please stand up if you're in the audience. And thank you guys. These brilliant minds, there's so much of this.
They have the real answers, by the way. Don't ask us. Turn around and just ask them.
Yeah.
They know everything. We don't know anything.
Matt, there are a lot of really cool sets on this show, from Pandemonium to Seeley Court to the Institute. Is there any particular set that you have a fondness for? What's your favorite?
The green screen.
How dare you? I think filmmaking for me is such a magical experience, and be able to make it for amazing fans like you guys is so, like, to be how involved and passionate you are about it just drives us. I just wanted to say that at the forefront. And we really appreciate you guys. Like, without you, we would not be here. Without the books, we would not be here. So we have mad respect for you and the books. So first and foremost. As we're making, on this journey, we're always thinking and trying to think about how to expand the universe, how to make things bigger, brighter, better, sound better, look better. We're constantly trying to improve and really giving the show a sense of New York City. I'm from New York, I grew up in that city, and it really is important to all of us to have the show really grounded. The Institute's there. So the sets are a combination of many different things, many different personalities. Each set is emblematic of each person that lives there. So there's great detail that goes into every one. And for me, the heart of the show is these people and these guys who write it. And it's when we can combine those two elements in an environment that feels real and feels tangible and honors the books, but maybe is something unexpected, that's where we think we are firing on all cylinders. So hopefully that answers the question.
Awesome, yeah.
He's being very modest, by the way. This is one of the best directors in TV, and the finale will blow you guys away.
Thank you. Well, I have no doubt from the video we saw at the top of this panel. I wanted to talk to you about a cool guest star that's coming to the show.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 episodes. Sarah Hyland is coming, and we don't quite know who she's playing yet. So if I don't know if you guys might have any information about that.
Drum roll.
Well, I think that some of you might have guessed it and then thought that you were wrong, but you actually weren't.
And we will say this, when you saw that little girl in episode 14, the fearful, she was a little girl and she could change her age. Sarah Hyland will be the Seeley Queen. We brought you a great scene from episode 219 that we'd love to show you.
I have an open invitation with the Queen herself. I just need a minute.
We're going to start taking fan questions in a minute, so if you want to start lining up at the microphone that's over there. What can you tell us just about the Seeley Queen at the end of this season, and also Simon's role? A lot of people are after Simon. He's very, very important cog pawn in this. He's
so charming too.
As far as, a lot of people want him on their side. They want him as a leader, or they want him in their, on their team. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, anyone who'd like that.
In my opinion, like Simon in many ways is like Neo. Like he is the one in many instances. Because he's become a daylighter, and to all the people he's associated with, suddenly he's got this fame and notoriety, and he's such a humble guy. He wants to go to college and be in love with Clary and figure his life out and be a musician. By the way, how about the music? So just sideline shout out, there's a Shadowhunters EP coming out July 21st. Tomorrow. Yes. It drops, and it has the original songs that Alberto beautifully sang on, as well as some Morel stuff. So
There's actually going to be 2 of them. You guys have only heard the first one. The second one will come out tomorrow as well, so you guys can jump on.
And the producer that we were lucky enough to work with is Sam Hollander. He did One Direction. He's done a ton of great, amazing Fits in the Tantrums, etc. So anyway, well, but back to the question, which is the epicenter of. Wait a second.
Sorry.
Back to the epicenter of the question, which is the guy is pure in many ways, and I think that purity is what attracts clarity to him and his goodness, and he's put in an untenable situation being a vampire and now kind of a celebrity vampire. So.
But we also saw the power that he has with the other vampires. Sure. And I think that's something she wants to be able to manipulate.
Awesome. And we've already got a big line here, so let's take the first fan question. We can squint and see you here.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Hi, so I love Shadowhunters because you guys talk about diversity and acceptance so much, and I think whenever I watch it I get so encouraged and I feel so much more positive. So I just wanted to thank the writers, the cast, the crew, executives, everybody for making the show come alive, because I feel like sometimes there's so much negativity in the world and you guys bring a really positive vibe, so thank you for that.
By the way, just quickly, sorry, if it looks like we're not looking at you, we're trying, but the lights are in our face and you're here. We can see you on the screen right here. So we promise we're not ignoring you, like we're trying to look, and then the lights get too much and we look down a little bit.
Tom's watching a football match, actually. Go ahead.
Hey, so we heard mention of a certain someone, so I guess I'll just phrase my question in one word. Tessa?
Patience.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hi. So when you guys were preparing for your characters, did you read the books at all, or if you did, was there anything specific that you guys wanted to pull from the characters in the book to use as you in the show?
I took and this is why I break them all the time, because playing with the Stele, and there was a point that Cassie wrote in the books that it was strange that Jace is so confident and still has this kind of weird, like nervous tick. But then season 2, they took them all away from me because I kept breaking them.
You started getting rubber ones.
Like rubber ones and stuff. So I haven't had that for a while. For me, I read the first book to understand the world, and then what I do with characters that I play is I write a journal from their point of view. So every character I've ever played, I've got this journal that's based on, and then season 2, obviously I started a new one and I've been writing from the point of view of that character. And as we evolve through season 2, that journal extrapolates into who this character is and grows to be.
I know for me, I read all of them because I wanted to see his actions to different things. Like, how does he respond to different events?
How long did it take you to read all of them?
Not very long.
Like a week. You did it.
I burned through. Although I read the last 2 while we were shooting, so that took a little bit longer than the first 4. But I don't know. For me, as much information as I could get helped. Cassie mentioned the music he listens to, and I think that's very important. For me, it was very important. If you know the music someone listens to, you kind of understand them a little bit better. So that was something I think I pulled.
And I felt the same way as Alberto. I read all 6 of the Mortal Instruments books because I fell in love with the world and had a great time kind of experiencing the story. But also, a lot of it is from Clary's perspective. And the little things she notices about people and the little, the ways she feels about them and the aspects of them that she notices kind of help me inform what I do on the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, great. Next.
Hi.
Hi.
I know a lot of you.
She got that phone there.
I like your room. I like your room and all your rooms and your necklace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know a lot of you have read the books, and is there any small character that you would love to see in the TV show or bring to the TV show?
Chairman Meow.
Yeah.
Chairman Meow, yeah. I'd love to see Ragnar back.
Yeah,
I
me
miss
too.
Ragnar.
Such a great
Nancy.
character. I don't know. Obviously, there's things that what's great about the show is like there's a lot of great flashbacks, and you know we go back in time a little bit. So I mean, there's so many characters in the book though that obviously like even someone like Dom was saying like even Chairman Meow, it's not a someone, it's a
Stella could play Chairman Meow as well.
So could
Raja wouldn't behave. She's like me.
Well, Raja could be church.
She wouldn't behave.
Oh, well.
How would you ever? She's gotten out of my house like 4 times.
Stats are not coming on our set. I'm not waiting for 4 hours to get your cats to act.
We wait 4 hours for you.
Pretty slanderous statement.
Go ahead, kid. Next question.
Yeah, your costume's amazing.
Hi, I was wondering, you've said you've read the current books, the books that you're portraying right now, but have you read the prequels and the upcoming, the Infernal Devices and Dark Artifacts? And for Harry, has the prequels like helped you at all? And for everyone else, do you know what your future holds? Are you interested?
They definitely do. I mean, with Magnus, he has such a rich history that also these things that happened to him, like for instance, like what happened in Peru. I mean, like, you know, you have all these ideas of what happened, why he's not let back into a country. But I think those little things kind of tell a lot for what you can play sometimes into a scene. And you know, you start connecting the dots, I think, backwards. You know, it's a lot harder to connect the dots forward. And I think for this specific character, even the way he moves his hands and the way he looks at someone, I think those things come into play that might not be specifically in the script or whatnot. That really helps me as an actor to try and give some kind of nuance into to a specific scene or the character.
There's one other thing that you guys haven't mentioned is prior to the show was even created, there's a tremendous amount of analysis and discussion online about things outside the books and things in the books and what people are feeling, what characters are feeling. And that's been tremendously helpful, especially early on in understanding the characters, because that analysis is more in depth, obviously, than because you guys create a ton of material. So that was extremely helpful for me, and I'm sure for all of us.
Yeah.
Now, just for the producers keep talking about, like, they've read the books, they get insight into the characters, maybe even what lies ahead for them, but there's still that element where you want them to read the script. When they get it in their hands, be like, you know, their jaw will still drop. Like, even though they did, you know, they dove into the books, like, you still create that element for them.
We hope so.
It certainly does. Yeah, it happens to us all the time.
And I think when they get the scripts, I can't speak for them, but I hope that when they get the scripts, it's like they're basically taking the gist or the writing that's in there, and that's what's informing them. And all of you,
Absolutely.
yeah, preparation.
Yeah. Wonder Woman, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi. So, what is one of your favorite weapons?
Hold on, you're the cutest thing. You're so cute.
Oh, yes.
Good question.
She's a tiny hunter.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Should we go down the line?
Yeah.
Isaiah, do you want to start? What's your favorite weapon?
I cut people with these.
Yeah.
No, I'd say Luke's favorite weapon would definitely be the crossbow. He has yet to use it because he's no longer a Shadowhunter, but that would be his favorite weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going down the line?
Yeah.
My favorite weapon, I think, is the book, the spells, and being able to kind of it's almost unlimited superpower when you have that.
Which we don't use enough as Shadowhunters. I feel like we should definitely look into that. Like, we have so often in situations where, like, oh, how do we fix this? Magnus can fix this in a heartbeat. Like, we were talking about this earlier. Like, why does Luke drive around like an idiot when there are portals everywhere? Like, why does he make portal?
We did see how risky portaling is in the last episode.
Yeah.
That doesn't always turn out so great.
I'm not gonna play favorites with my weapons because I'm waiting to see what comes next. I mean, I know what what Alec likes to use, but we'll see. We'll see what's coming up next season.
Well, I mean, wait, did you go? Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, Izzy's whip that turns into a staff now. I'm sure you guys like it, right?
Got it right there.
Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. Yay.
Nice.
I solemnly swear. Go ahead.
Well, since we're into season 2 and you guys have kind of been playing these characters for a while, do you feel as protective over your characters as us fans do?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's something that I think is so special about this cast and everybody who works on the show is we all really do take it to heart how important these characters are to you guys because they've become that important to us. And we really do, we spend time with each other, we spend time on our own, really thinking about these characters and trying to make this something really special and really informed and something that is real.
Yeah, when people go online and they can talk mean about all of us. They go on there sometimes, they say mean things about Alec, they say mean things about Jace or Matt. What are you
about
doing?
characters, and that hurts more.
That
than anything else. Like, I can't believe Jace did this, and I'm like, oh no! Don't say it. Like, I don't need that.
Spot on.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi, so I read the books in a little bit of a blur, but I realized that the Downworlders and Shadowhunters allyship didn't happen until the end of the series, and I'm just wondering why you decided to sort of bring it up and sort of integrate it earlier.
Well, if you remember, in the third book, there was that first try at it, and that was right before the giant war that happened in Idris. So there was that first attempt, but like as you can see with our show, it's not easy to get all of them to play nice.
For sure, but it's definitely something we're aiming towards, for sure. And like more and more we can see. Yeah, absolutely, and we're constantly working towards it. Even like our relationship, as much as we kind of pretend like we hate each other, we do have this bond, this connection because
an immense amount of
we haven't looked at it, thoroughly just yet. But like, Jace is the reason that Simon's the daylighter, and that's something that's going to be prevalent later on in the series. And whether or not they dislike each other for whatever reason. But like whether or not they dislike each other, they actually do care about each other immensely, and that's why Jace was willing to, sacrifice himself for Simon. And that's why Simon wants to come along on missions. Like they do care about each other, and that is like what we're starting to see more and more. And again, with like Malik and with these other relationships in the show, like we're starting to see that that unity does exist, and we're trying to parallel that. But with your guys' permission, for me to say that, we're trying to parallel the real world with that unity and love is more positive and is more powerful than hatred, and it always will be.
And it doesn't happen overnight, though. It's something that has to be worked. Everyone has to want to build that, and that's something that you see. Like in the episode we had the council, we have where Luke tried to kill Valentine. You saw that. You saw Luke kind of pull away from the werewolves out of that own protection, because then. I think that's something. It's a constant battle. We all have to keep pushing through.
And the dope thing about the show, I think, is that the political strife and the battle, the tension between the Downworld and the Clave and the Institute and all that stuff has massive resonance and emotional impact on all these characters. So that conflict between, like, you have the High Warlock of Brooklyn and the head of the Institute. That's not going to run perfectly, right? So you have all of those things. People lead great responsibility. With great responsibility, heavy hangs the crown, right? So all these people have great responsibility, and amidst that, they're just trying to fall in love and have a cheeseburger and live their lives. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's one of the beautiful things about what Cassie created and what we are evolving. We don't eat. There's no catering this year, by the way.
Or sleep, really.
No.
But anyway, that's.
I sleep sometimes, but mostly when I sleep, I'm having nightmares.
When was the last time we slept?
I slept for a full episode.
Arguably more than that.
I was taking care of you. Well, Magnus and I were taking care of you.
There's a lot of this too.
Short list.
I was shopping on Amazon.
Go ahead, Super Gal.
Next question. I like your shirt. I love your shirt.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, I love you guys all so much. I love your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then my question is, which couple do you guys ship the most?
Oh, don't even.
I don't think it's a good idea right now.
Should we say it on 3?
All on 3?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Malik.
I'm gonna say Sizzy.
Right? It's not Sizzy yet. It's like.
It's smaller.
That's exactly it.
was
It's
gonna
an
make his
onomatopoeia of his own relationship. I love it. Keep it going. Breath control. Whatever.
Go ahead, kid.
If we stop with
Yeah.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Juliet. And
Hi.
Hello, Julie.
that is going to be my question. Are we going to see Simon and Izzy as a couple in this season, the next season?
All right, I know I've talked about this a few times, and I feel like it's something that people remember where they are right now. Do we really want to start?
Alberto, please.
I'm saying I don't think they're ready for each other. Like Izzy's got this whole thing with Raphael. You can't jump from one fam to another fam. Like, she's got to get some time, you know. And of course, Simon's heart is broken, and he's finding this friendship in Maya. And they're not. I don't want.
You can remedy that.
Wait, but I want Todd and Darren to answer this question.
That's actually way better.
Yes, please. So, will there be any Cindy in season 3?
It's a slow burn, and if I tell you when it will happen, it won't be fun when it happens.
Good answer. Well done. Well done.
If it's fated to be, one day it will be.
But I will say this, in Monday night's episode, there's amazing sissy scenes, you guys. Like, you guys crushed it so good.
I was gonna say anything.
When I say sissy, I don't mean romantic, but you feel it. It's undeniable.
We got one more question here from the fans, and then got some news to dispense. But let's take the question here. California Bear.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, I've been in this fandom for a really long time, and I really love and appreciate what you guys are doing with the world of Shadowhunters. And I wanted to ask what your favorite part of getting to know the story and getting to know the world has been.
The mythology, maybe. There's such a rich, diverse criteria that we have to meet, and I think very often I personally feel a lot of pressure to make sure that all of that is in place because it's so important to this world, and if you don't follow the rules, you end up making mistakes that will trip you up later on, and this, that, and the other. So it can be quite hard at times, but that's one of my favorite things about it, is the challenge to really work with and develop this intrinsic world with the writers and the directors, and talking through the different rules and regulations and the way the world has to behave, otherwise it doesn't work. So that's great for me.
For me, it's the journey of the characters. I mean, each one of these characters presents itself as one thing, and then as you get to know them, and as they go through all of these tribulations, if you will, they change and they grow and they discover new things about themselves. And I think there's something that everyone can relate to in these characters.
I like that we get to tell the story in the sense that every day we get to go to work with these great people, and we get to get deeper into what's happening. We get to form relationships closer as friends and then as characters, and we get to continue telling the story together.
There's a Shadowhunter going to ask a question next. Though.
Oh, cool.
We can't see them because they're
See, I can see that.
I asked the Twitterverse too for questions, and people from all over the world are such huge fans of the show. I'm not going to go through all of them, but Lady Multi-Fandom wants to know what we see a lot more of Maya in season 3. Ever since DJH, Archery Daddario, Princess Angie Zero want to know what ideas, if any, do you have right now for season 3? What can you tell us? Asking you, Todd and Darren, what can you tell us?
What can you tell us?
What can you tell us about season 3?
Please.
What can you tell us?
Enlighten us.
One very exciting thing about season 3, Alicia Wainwright's a series regular! We're so thrilled. She's amazing, and she's blended in with these guys so well, and her character in the book, super powerful, and we're doing some stuff in the show that's like the book, but also a little different. You guys are going to be blown away. These next few episodes, she will break your heart and shatter it like never before. It's amazing work. So that's one thing. Darren, you have anything else?
We're starting to get into season 3, and we don't want to give too much away, but we're really
Get it all
Please
away.
do. Go ahead.
Give me permission to spoil everything.
There's going to be a little character named Lilith showing up.
Lilith is coming in season 3.
I feel like that was on our list of things that we were not allowed to say. You're given a big pack before, it's like, don't say this. Well, he's my boss, so screw it. He's allowed to say whatever he wants.
I've got a question for Todd and Darren down here. I'd like to.
Oh, yes.
Is Luke ever going to find love in his life?
We've seen stories making
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Season 3, Luke will find love. You can break that.
Just be like The Bachelor with Luke.
The Bachelor with Luke Garrett. Okay, take it back. No love, just The Bachelor.
In all honesty, Isaiah will be very happy. There's an awesome Luke in season 3. Deeper into that character, more stuff, playing with more people. He plays a very, very integral role. There's also this guy named Jordan you might have heard. So he will be there in season 3. And for you book fans, a little book called City of Fallen Angels is really what 3A is all about. So we take a lot from that book, and Cassie did amazing work in that book. But as Darren said, Lilith, Edom, it's going to be amazing. And Matt is directing the premiere, and we just wrote it, and it's awesome. I'm very excited. I can't wait for you guys to see that. Up close, are there any like massive Malik fan? Like a massive... This is one shirt signed by Harry and Matt. Oh, wow.
I wish I had one. The signature, we only have a black marker as a black shirt.
But it's still fun.
Play a game of where's the signature.
It's a one of a kind.
It's in there.
It's on. It's real.
Are you sure?
Special edition.
Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
We can't
guys
wait to
so
see you.
much.
Thanks, everybody.
Shadowhunters on Freeform.
Thanks,
Shout out to Twitter.
Thank you guys.